Okay, so what we're gonna do is break down the ATG split squat starting at a regress version. So to start with, a regress version is gonna be having this leg up versus down on the ground, and you can progress from high to low, making it more and more difficult as you get lower. So in the end, what we want it to look like is that we're nice and deep here. The ankles, we have a lot of angle closed down here, a lot of angle closed down here. We're nice and upright, and then this leg's as straight out behind us as we possibly can get. So that's our end goal, is to get into this position and be strong through it, where we can come in and out of it. Our knees stable and strong, but to start with, we want to start up here. This is going to make it easier, less load on it, and it allows us to get into this position easier. So if with this we have a lot of trouble, then we can just hang out into it as an actual, just like a stretch kind of thing, and putting pressure down, collapsing that knee, the ankle, and the hip, and just really put our weight over it, and then later worry about getting nice and upright. Long term, we want to be able to sit in this with our torso upright, but if we're really having trouble, we can get into it and just use it as a stretch like this. Then once we're kind of beyond that and we're starting to do it, you're thinking nice and upright, and over time working on getting this hip further and further behind us. So a regress version's just going to look like this. And our focus isn't to build strength here, but rather to work on our mobility of this ankle, knee, and hip, and also on this hip as well. So this is our regress version. Then when we get into either a barbell or dumbbells, which I'll show you both, what we want to do is we start to load it, but we're still thinking a little bit different than like a regular type of lunge position. So what I'm trying to do is create lots of space between these legs so I have somewhere to go, so that when I get to the bottom, it looks nice and deep like this. And there's a lot of weight on that knee, and I'm almost using the weight to help me get deeper into this position. And then I press back up out of it like this. So it's not so much up and down as it's like kind of a forward angle, then you're pressing back out of it. And as you're coming down, you're working like nice, good stability here. Control, we're going slow, and we're using the fact that we're going slow to make it challenging, and the depth we're going to make it challenging, and then back up, versus putting a heavy load on it. We're using that nice slow rep, good control, thinking straight with that back leg, getting it behind us, tall torso, and really getting weight over this front leg. Lots of depth there, then pushing back out of it. One thing we don't want to see is that we're not going very like deep with it, and we're not getting like the leg spread. So if I get, and I just go to here, and it looks more like this, I'm pretty much just doing a lunge at that point. What we need to do is get that separation between the two legs, and you'll watch there I had like a little balance issue. The more that I put my back leg out to the side and spread that stance, the easier my balance is going to be. And then I'm trying to really get a lot of range out of it and back up, versus your traditional lunge that looks more like I'm just coming down like this. I'm getting lots of distance there, and then you see the difference of me sliding forward with it and collapsing over it, then coming back out, versus the regular kind of lunge position where if I step and then I'm just going more up and down here instead of getting that forward and back type momentum. So the barbell is probably the most difficult, just because you have to get the barbell up there and manage your balance, whereas the dumbbell's a little bit easier. And if you need to, you can just let go of the weights or whatever you might need to do, and you don't have to worry about racking and unracking it, but exact same motion there, going like that. So that's what we want to do. First off, when we're most restricted, we're up here, and then we get to the point where we're unloaded and we're here, we have good control, we can get good depth, and then you start to load it with either a dumbbell or a barbell.